It's official! You can now treat COVID like the flu. You have our permission. More on this coming up. What a cutting-edge scientific breakthrough! We've just discovered what everyone but line-towing liberals have known for the past 4 years. COVID isn't a serious, deadly pandemical killer. Tonight we'll be giving you a full report on why COVID should be treated like the flu, give you a brief history of how we were in your face 24/7 telling you the opposite of that, and we'll also exercise enough narcissism to convince you that we always have been and will continue to be credible. That's right, it just so happens to turn out that COVID is kind of like the flu mixed with bird poop funded by Fauci during an election year. In a lab. But make no mistake, it's still so deadly that now isn't the time to let off the accelerator towards your 27th booster, because the world's still overpopulated. Taking a walk through memory lane. Do you remember this post from Trump that had to be removed from Facebook? Because it was dangerous misinformation? And now we're telling you the same thing? Well, try not to remember it if you would. It kind of makes us look inconsistent and uncredible while making him look incredible. And for the record, his post is still considered misinformation. If you look at the fine print, you'll see why. As you've outsourced your health to us in the media over the past 4 years, which is wise to do because we've never done a single personal evaluation on your health, we're funded by the pharmaceutical industry, and we're not doctors, you might be sitting there asking, how come all my conservative friends and family, whose relationships I ruined because they thought COVID was no more serious than the flu, knew this cutting-edge medical discovery 4 years ago, and I didn't? The answer to that is they didn't. Because they're evil, they thought it was deadlier than you did, and they didn't want you to protect yourself from it by ruining your life to save your life because they wanted you to die. Trust us on that. Because we couldn't have misled you further over the past 4 years, we're probably leading you correctly now. So it's actually a good thing that we were able to help motivate you to destroy your friendships and relationships with your family. We helped protect you. Marxism. Divide the people to control the people. Don't you feel protected? And perhaps you also fondly remember this state-sponsored video from the CDC aimed at kids to get them to turn their neighbors in by fighting online disinformation about COVID.
In many cases, the authors of this misinformation are simply misinformed.
The deadliest form of disinformation is the type that's correct. Never trust it.
The Center for Disease Control and Prevention website should be favored because they are a trustworthy source. Due to large government funding, Susan eventually tracks down a fact-based source that compares flu and COVID deaths during the same period.
Remember how there were all of a sudden no cases of the flu during that period? I still wonder why that was.
Meanwhile, Susan's uncle has been doing his own research.
Susan's uncle sounds like he's been listening to RFK Jr.
He's encountered many so-called sources that contain disinformation. Take this fake news story, for example. It claims to cite an official source, the CDC, but it misrepresents the data. This video also uses emotional and sensational elements instead of a fact-based argument.
Using facts that we made up to compel your actions from fear is the way to avoid these emotional and sensational elements.
But you can protect yourself from disinformation. You can stop it from spreading too.
Report the disinformation. Thus we prove that those who turn in their neighbors are always on the right side of history. Now to the question on your mind. Why did it take us 4 years to discover the basic facts on COVID? Well, we've been moving at the speed of science on this one, ladies and gentlemen, and unfortunately common sense may move at the infinite speed of now, but the speed of science moves at the speed of influencing the next election. Accordingly, in the upcoming days, we'll be crediting Joseph R. Biden with conquering the pandemic. As soon as he figures out how to find his way back into the house from the backyard and stumbles in with his underwear probably on backwards, if on at all, we'll give him his award. At this point in the playbook, we expect your common sense to be asking, what about all the people who died while on ventilators and taking remdesivir? Did they really have to die? Answer, yes they did. Remember, they died with COVID, so we needed them to. Plus, this flu-like virus that doesn't destroy kidneys because it's like the flu definitely used to destroy kidneys on purpose, but it doesn't anymore. Why not? Well, you'll really appreciate the science on this. We'll be answering no further questions on that. Another contributing factor that's helped the people that tell us what to say discover that they want us to say that COVID should be treated like the flu now is that another election year is upon us. And if you were being instructed to focus your fear on COVID, you'll have less fear bandwidth to focus on what we're bringing to you next. Will it be Disease X? Smallpox? We're not going to spoil it for you yet, but we've already told you that those are killing 100% of humanized mice. This just in! A question from a viewer. Why the fuck do you guys have humanized mice? No comment. But stand by and wait for your instructions on what to focus all your fear on next so that the leash that we control you with can be wrapped tightly around your neck. Whatever the next one is, we can assure you that part of the cure will be mail-in ballots. That's it for today's news. You have permission to relax for a couple weeks before the next demon arises from the sea that you are to worship. By the way, please don't read the book of Revelations. It's nothing more than disinformation. Good night. I don't know about you, but one thing I love is infrared saunas. But 3 things I hate about infrared saunas is they can be expensive, they take up a lot of space in your house, and you can't carry them. That's why I love my Bond Charge infrared sauna blanket. It's one of the most cost-effective, powerful, yet portable infrared sauna systems on the market, and it doesn't clutter up my house. Bond Charge is my favorite holistic wellness brand with many evidence-based products to help you optimize your life in every way. And the infrared sauna blanket is one of my favorites. Personally, I work hard, I work out hard, I live like an idiot half the time, and at times life is just hard, so I need all the recovery I can get. Before I was using the infrared sauna blanket, I was finding I was becoming more and more sluggish, my energy progressively getting lower. I could tell I needed to recover from all that life was throwing at me and all that I was diving into. But that all changed for me once I got my body into this bad boy and started using it regularly. There's plenty of research that shows using infrared saunas helps you recover from exercise, sleep better, de-stress, promotes relaxation, and it's great for detox. If you want to upgrade your life with an infrared sauna blanket, just go to bondcharge.com/JP. And while you're there, use the discount code JP for 15% off the sauna blanket and all Bond Charge products. Enjoy.